So it's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hi villains, and welcome to For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast. As we look forward towards AZ Alkmaar, we're going to have a bit of a different podcast for you today. Myself and Paddy were supposed to jump on tonight, but for one reason or another, we weren't able to do it live. We couldn't pre-record it, so we're actually going to jump on tomorrow night to discuss about Paddy's thoughts, I suppose. We're going to look back to the West Ham game with Paddy. We didn't get to talk to him about that, but also we're going to look forward to AZ Alkmaar as well with Paddy later on tomorrow night on Wednesday, the 25th of October at 9:30. So join us then. Now, earlier on this week, I had a very, very, very great chat with a brilliant guy called Michael Statham from the Oranje podcast. He's an Aston Villa fan as well, but he does follow the Eredivisie. He actually started following a lot of football in the Eredivisie, and he is a massive AZ Alkmaar fan also. But he started following football in the Eredivisie because Wilfred Bouma signed with Aston Villa, and then subsequently went back to the to the Eredivisie to play with PSV. Really interesting guy. I did a piece with him on Monday night on his channel on Football Oranje, where we go into more, I suppose, more in-depth kind of conversation, I suppose, about where Villa might be able to break down AZ Alkmaar. Also, we talk about one or two of their younger prospects, as I like to do. I have been watching an awful lot of Van Bommel, their young player that they have, young up and coming player, and we talk also as well about Sven Wijnands, also their midfielder, who Michael talks about in this piece as well. So Michael was very, very kind enough to record a little snippet with regards to how he feels the game is going to go, who AZ Alkmaar's main men are going to be, and discusses them in depth. So it's a bit of a shorter podcast today. It's also something a small bit different as well. Hope you really enjoy it. Really, really implore you, if you do want to know more about Eredivisie, go follow Michael. Also follow the Footballer on your podcast as well. Super podcast. I have been watching and listening for quite a while, so it was real treat for me to get to speak to Michael and to chat through AZ today, and what for what I feel is going to be a great game this week in Alkmaar. So, here comes Michael, and he's going to chat to you a small bit more about Alkmaar and who their main men are.
Hi Neil, it's Michael here from Football Oranje. AZ against Villa. Really looking forward to this one. I think this could be a bit of a classic this season for whatever AZ and Villa do in their respective competitions. I hope that the game in Alkmaar, the game at Villa Park in a couple of weeks, will be ties we can remember for the rest of the season. AZ then, second place in Dutch Eredivisie. People are thinking, it's only the Eredivisie. It's the sixth best league in Europe nowadays. I know it's not as strong as the Premier League, but you have to take this AZ side a bit more seriously than perhaps we used to do when it comes to English teams playing Dutch teams in Europe. I know the English side's got a good record against Dutch sides in European competition. I think that the way you can get at this AZ side is by using the quality that Villa have on the ball, getting in behind, using some physicality with Ollie Watkins up front. But as for AZ, I do think they have their qualities out wide, whilst their wingers themselves aren't exactly reliable goal-scoring wingers that are full of quality. They do have wing-backs that are really good at bombing forwards, and the wingers are good at finding them in the right positions, or the full-backs will create the space for wingers to provide passes and balls into the box for Pavlidis. Angelis Pavlidis is a striker. He scored 14 goals in 15 games so far this season. As for those wing-backs then, you've got Sugawara, who, Neil, I know you like very much. The Japanese right-back. He likes getting forwards on that right side, but also very handy in defence as well. I think he is someone that can go on and have a career elsewhere in the top 5 league in the future. Then you've got Wolf down the left side, the left-back, Norwegian player, very young, but still someone who's trying to replace what Milos Kerkez did last season for them. Kerkez, of course, moving on to Bournemouth. But those wing-backs will provide Villa a bit of a headache, I think. Something they've not had too much, I don't think, to play against this season. I'm a Villa fan as well. I've seen them play a number of times this season. I mean, every game. But I've seen a lot of AZ games as well. And I do think that those wing-backs coming forward might pose Villa a different kind of problem to what they've been used to. They like getting forward a lot. They will put low crosses into the box, Pavlidis. In midfield, you've got Sven Meinens, who's a bit of a number 8, likes to play box to box, but has shown his quality this season in replacing Tijani Reinders, the left for AC Milan over the summer. Jordi Classy, people remember from his time at Southampton, defensive midfielder. He has been on fire this season for a defensive midfielder. He has been so calm on the ball, reading the game really well. The leader is their captain in midfield. So whilst Villa have the better quality on paper, RZ in Alkmaar, I think they'll try and sit deeper than they have been so far this season. They're not that they're used to playing teams that play defensive low blocks themselves. They've ended up winning a lot of those games this season with clean sheets too. But I think when they come against the top sides in the league, they like to sit back and play in the counter, which probably suits them better. It suits their skill set better. They don't like it when teams come and play quite defensive. Whilst Villa may have moments where they sit a little deeper, I think that Villa and Emery will like to have control of the ball. He made a big point this season about having control, and that will suit RZ here. Will it be enough in the end? I hope we can make a bit of a game of it. I hope that both sides score goals, but in the end, Villa probably will have the quality to win. I hope people enjoy going out to Alkmaar if you are, and also just watching RZ and having a good game, because this is what the Conference League is for me. I think you want to have some good European games. RZ and Villa both have their own ambitions to go really far in this competition this season. RZ went to the semis last season. They said their ambitions to go one step further this time and get to the final. Of course, they're going to have a tough couple of games against Villa, but if they can get through the groups, I think they will also go far in the knockout rounds, and maybe we'll even meet again later in the competition. But yeah, thanks for having me, Neil. Come and check out the preview that we've got over on our YouTube channel on Football Oranje.
Well, thank you so much to Michael for that. I really, really appreciate his time. He knows an awful lot about the Eredivisie. We spoke an awful lot prior to going on, and also post going post the podcast also as well. I have a funny feeling I might be chatting to Michael more and more about prospects in the Dutch league again, because we did have a little bit of a conflab about that afterwards, and really interested to know his thoughts on a couple of players as well. He might pop up should Aston Villa be linked with any footballers from their Eredivisie again. But I really appreciate his time. Obviously, he knows Alkmaar inside out. He does support Alkmaar as well himself. So it's really, really good to get that insight from him. Hope you all enjoyed it. As I say, a shorter form podcast again. I know a lot of people go walking the dog and like our 20, 30, 40-minute podcast, but just a shorter form one today. We will be back again tomorrow on the 25th of October with Paddy, and we will be chatting more about Alkmaar from his point of view as well. But thank you once again to Michael today. Please go follow him on Twitter. And until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.